Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So, the subtle distinctions that we make for teaching purposes are all being now swallowed up as mere pedagogical devices and not to be seen as stuck to the eye. Because if I am Chaitana, and this is the what's that? The Chaitana means if I am sentient, and then the whole world is insentient, then there is already a duality. We have seen that. And in the same way, if I am a witness and the whole world of objects is witnessed, then also there are many, many problems. The main problem is that of separation. Between me and the things that I am not, there is a separation. Separation always brings with it what? Anxiety. Therefore, there is separation anxiety. Starts at age 2 and does not go away ever, unless this knowledge is internalized. There's always an unless. Yes. Does not go away means people will come after me with a stick. Why did you tell me towards the end? I wasted and invested so much time in this retreat, and now you're telling me anxiety doesn't go away. So, we have here a very subtle operation, again cognitive operation. So the first one being that of everything in the universe being what? Jada. And me being Chetana. Jada jada vibhagaha, ayam vibhagaha. This differentiation, it is kalpita. And again, lot of things are lost in translation. Kalpita does not mean imaginary. Yes. Technically it means imaginary. Here it means superimposed. It is as though superimposed, because nothing can be superimposed upon the I Atma. It is as though superimposed upon the I, which is what? Free of that superimposition. Anything like that. Like the toxicity of the snake does not transfer to the rope snake. Correct? Yeah, even if it bites. Yeah. Terrible toxic snake like what? Crate, cobra. They're all there in India. And here also there is one. What is that? Rattlesnake. Rattler. And then I mistook the rope for the snake. And now I know it is not snake. But I have a doubt. If it bites, will I die? So, so the negation has to be total. You cannot just say partially that is some kind of this maybe there is a certain kind of a transference. So this kalpita means it is superimposed. So the snake dharma, what are the dharmas of the snake? It is long, it has three bends, it is flexible, it has scales, and it has the tongue that is split, just for fun. And so this is the dharma of the snake. Because of my own ajnanam, it is transferred on or superimposed upon the rope. But that which is the object of superimposition, adhishthana, the technical term, is totally free of that superimposition. What is so no matter how real it appears, how real the rope snake appears, the rope is free of snakeness. It doesn't have scales, it doesn't have a tongue. What else does it? It doesn't have a bite. And even if it were to bite, it's not poisonous. Right? So if you deny one dharma, all of them are denied because the whole thing is a superimposition. It's not that, yes, it's a rope, but it can bite, beware. No. The entire superimposition is as though cast, thrown, vikshipta, projected, and then when you withdraw the superimposition in the wake of the knowledge, the entire superimposition is withdrawn. So now translate this into that which is the darshtanta, that which is exemplified. So jada jada vibhagaha ayam. So this ayam vibhagaha, this distinction that I made very seriously when in the beginning of the quest, when I did not know anything, I made this distinction. What was the distinction I made? I am ajada, chetana. Everything else, ha, jada. There is a superiority there. I'm the only one that there is. Everything else is a waste of time. This is how we begin the quest. Now, that distinction no longer holds, cannot hold. Why? Because we have come a long way in the teaching. We have seen that the I is free of all distinctions. Nama is not there, Rupa is not there, everything is a projection. Everything is an adhyasa. Whatever I can say about the I, whatever notions I have, are all superimpositions, and the superimposition is adhyasa in Sanskrit, and that upon which something is superimposed is called adhishthana. So many examples are there, we have seen them all. The movie screen does not have soot if the movie has fire in it. After that, you don't have to clean up. Oh, there was fire damage because it was the movie was called Inferno. So there was fire damage. Another movie was called Deluge. And so instead of seats in the theater, you have to have boats, so that one is prepared. No such thing. In fact, because of the screen, we can enjoy the movie. Because there is absolutely no distinctions, there are no distinctions in the Atma, we can enjoy the so-called distinctions. So the adhishthana means what? The no translation really. That which receives the superimpositions without being affected by them, that is adhishthana. So we have to look at all the subtle distinctions also now. First, and two of those are examined here in the last two verses we saw. First one is Jada and Chetana. But how can I relate to the world if it is not Jada? It's a very important thing. Because This drastically, this is Vedanta in everyday life. Make a note of it. Yeah. So, if I think everything is Jada, then I am the only one that is Chetana, then the relationship between me and the world of Jada items, objects, is one of superiority. I am the one that, I'm the monarch of all I survey. My life, there is none to dispute. And then how does it go? I'm the monarch of all I survey. My life there is none to dispute. From the center all round to the sea, I am the lord of fowl and brute. Yeah, something like that. It's an actual poem. Did you Google it? I asked you to Google it. Yeah. Yeah. It's not done instantly, it's not done at all. Yeah. But that doesn't mean you have to do it now. Yeah. So now just listen. Who cares what it says? But anyhow, so it's like that. There is a dominion. And this is the problem with a lot of Western theologies. I have a relationship with all other things from the standpoint of the one that reigns over them. And therefore, the earth is in peril. Because what do? The Jada items become a prop for me. The whole world of insentient items becomes a prop for me to milk, to extract. Why? To buttress my own sense of insecurity, to buttress, to negate that insecurity, to buttress some self-confidence. If I have this, I'll be better. If I have that, I'll be better. So if I get rid of this, I'll be better. So my drishti, my vision with regard to the world of Jada items, the insentient world, when I regard the world as insentient, it is dangerous for my everyday life. It is dangerous for the planet. It is dangerous for everyone. Why? Because I'm viewing the world as something to be operated upon. What am I? Operator. So there is a hierarchy. And in fact, in Western theologies, they go one more step and say that only the human being has soul. Soul. Animals don't have souls. Therefore, what? Eat them. Yeah. Abuse them in so many ways. And this is a problem because we see the universe as something to keep up this frail ahankara by giving me things and then taking away my complexes centered on me. I depend upon the world. I mean, it's one thing to depend upon the world. Even though I depend upon the world, I look upon the world as something that will fulfill all this. And that's why there is a hectic, competition in the world. That's why I do not know how to use the resources properly. I abuse the resources. And this Jada, Ajada is convenient. They don't feel anything. Why not? The earth doesn't feel anything. The river doesn't feel anything. I want to start a factory. And then what? And it will have all the waste products. Affluents, it's called. Because only the affluent ones can afford to start a factory. So they release, the factories release these affluents. Where? In the rivers. In the same river, Ajada, Jada. It was Jada. Definitely, it is seen as Jada by me because of this distinction which is rampant in the universe. Same river comes to poison me later. There's yet one more river I cannot drink out of. In America, there are very, very few bodies of water that are safe to drink, alas. That's why everybody resorts to the bottle for water. And that bottle also is full of microplastics. In fact, the human being themselves are full of microplastic. That's one way to say, I am immortal. I am non biodegradable. I never come to an end. I may have a lot of sicknesses, but death is not for me because I don't biodegrade. Nothing will biodegrade. Totally non biodegradable. Instead of soham, I will say styrofoamaham. Yes. Microplasticoham. This is what happens. So there is the synergy. The relationship between me and the five elements is at peril. Because this jada ajada distinction is not seen as interim. It is seen as what? Permanent. It is seen as is this divide is there to stay. The river doesn't feel anything. Let me put it in the river. The river said, you are going to come to drink out of me alone. Let me show you what it's like to have this. Even the Ganga, which was for many, many decades, from the beginning of whenever the Ganga was discussed in the Shastra, was not, had some kind of antibacterial activity. Bacteria could not survive. That's why you could bring the Ganga from wherever, it flowed and, take it to South India, keep it in a little copper jar in your puja room. For 50 years, you could keep it. And then somebody is breathing their last. And so you break that and put it in the mouth of the person on the deathbed. After 50 years, there would be no bacteria in it. Completely sterile. That was the Ganga. Now, what did we do? We just did all kinds of things. All the factory water flowing there, and then it was seen as something which is very auspicious to to have the crematory rites by the Ganga. Have them, no problem. But then people are lazy. And then they will not, ensure that the body is burnt properly and push everything in the water. So, human remains and industrial remains, as a result of which Ganga itself will not remain. And so, this way, we have to be, and then of course, there's all this, new activities. What is that called? Rafting, river rafting. It will all start when I go back now. Can't even take a walk there. It'll be just full of people coming from. Delhi comes to Rishikesh. New Delhi comes and shifts to Rishikesh. And you can see the city person's ways. And till they come, it is so calm and wonderful. New Delhi moves in for 3-4 months. Children's holidays are there, summer holidays. And so the parents, let's go to Rishikesh. Let's not really, but and then you can see the ways. You can see how, the city, what is that? The city view is very different. It's like it's all there for me to use, it's all there for me to consume. I am consumer, ajada, and then the world of jada is what? Consumables. These are all to be consumed. And why do they come to Rishikesh? To tick it off the list. That's all. Okay, been there, done that. And there is a lot more debris that is left behind than when nobody comes. So the season, there is a little break in the tourist season in the monsoon. So those of us who like to live there say that monsoons can that's why it's called monsoon. Please come soon. So that drives these tourists away. So there's a little break at that time because the Ganga has lot, you can't bathe there. And it's very muddy because the mud from the mountains is coming along with the rain. So that time there's a little bit of a break. And when it gets really cold, also they don't come. So calm. The animals also move freely. And then in the summer months, it's really something else. But all this goes to show that this distinction is already there in the mind. Certain things I cannot hurt, so I think. But then there is, it's a wrong understanding, a very, very, very wrong understanding. And therefore, this verse is doing us a favor, not only on the Paramarthika level, but also on the everyday level. Jada Jada Vibhagah Ayam. Ayam Jada and Ajada Vibhaga, this division between conscious and inert entities, Kalpitaha, is a superimposition upon the I, who is the nature of sentience. If I is the nature of sentience itself, then what about all the things in the world? That is also non-separate from the I. That is also sentient. That's why we don't look at the five elements as elements. Vayu is Bhagavan. Namaste Vayu. Tvameva pratyaksham brahmasi. We say namaste. You are the palpable, tangible form of Ishvara for me. If I pollute you, then I have to breathe you in. That will tell on me. People were aware of this. Same thing. River is not river is not some jada. River is a mother. Ocean is father. Sky is father. Earth is mother. This is how we see the whole universe. And it's not just confined to the Hindu tradition. You see the indigenous people in the whole universe, even though they have been converted, proselytized, even though they have their original ways of being have been taken away from them due to colonization, proselytization, all these things, still they will have reverence to everything that there is. And this reverence comes not because it is jada, but because it is sacred. It is all chit, 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 chit. Unexpressed, latent chit. And in me, that same chit is advertised, dynamic chit. Same thing, same sentience. So if I regard the world as insentient, it is a dangerous proposition because I'm hurting myself and all other beings because my actions become sacrilegious towards the animals, that's why we worship the trees. We don't worship trees, we worship the fact that they are chit. We worship animals. We don't worship animals, we worship Bhagavan in the form of the river, the form of the animals. We have Ganga Arati every evening. May I not harm you. That is the thing. May I not pollute this source, which is like the spring of life itself. And somebody says, oh, Hindus are cow worshippers. You worship cow. How can you worship cow? The only thing to ask is, if you can eat it, why can't I worship it? You have no problem eating it. Why shouldn't I worship it? And you see, in small towns in India and in rural areas, the animals move very freely. They don't have that fear of being abused. The dogs don't just growl territorially because they're afraid you might do something. In the cities, we do, and even the monkeys. In the cities, we are so afraid of the natural world and the things. Cities, if you see a monkey, you pick up a stone and then just throw. They also become aggressive naturally. Yeah. In Rishikesh, I saw. Rishikesh also we are visited by monkeys. There are many kinds, but two kinds visit. The black-faced one is called the langur, and they generally mind their own business, and they can be tamed very easily. And the red-faced ones are called the rhesus monkeys. You stay away from them as much as possible. Give them a nice place of just being. Don't go too close to them. Because also 2 years ago, we had this G20 meeting. And then they wanted the streets of Delhi to receive the foreign dignitaries, all the celebrities, all the heads of state that came. But then there was this monkey menace. That's what they thought. So they caught all the monkeys and shipped them to Rishikesh and Haridwar area. And there also we see the difference between the local monkeys and the Delhi monkeys. When I'm on my walk, I say, oh, I know where you came from. Yeah. Because of the way it behaves. The imported monkeys snatch. They are much more aggressive because they have been, they've been living in a survival environment. And the local monkeys are relaxed. They're like, chill, come on, it's okay. Yeah. And once I saw one Swami, a large Swami sitting on a bench. I'll walk. Yeah, you see him many times on the walk. And then I saw him sitting there. And then I nodded and he also nodded back. And then I went on my walk. And on the way back, that same Swami was sitting. And then on his lap was a monkey which was holding him, which was holding around his neck, and he was patting the back. Then I said, I have to take a photograph. But then by the time it got down and left, monkey mind, yeah. I really wanted to take a photograph. And then if you go up in the hills, the Delhi monkeys have not made it up there. And then you see a different, even the rhesus monkeys are different. So I went to this temple up in the hills. And then inside the sanctum, we were sitting, myself and whoever else came with me, we were sitting there. And the priest was doing puja. And then a small one came. Can I come in? I said, no. So, no, it stayed. And then its brother or its sibling came, little bigger, but one must have been a girl and the other one was a boy, the stronger one. It would threaten to put one hand inside and look inside the sanctum. And the priest was livid. The priest was, throwing some flowers on the goddess and then throwing some other things on the monkey. But it was all in fun. Then prasad time. So I said, all right, come in. It understood. And so the two little ones came in. The big ones were scared to come in because they had had previous experiences with the priest. And the priest very disapprovingly gave me the prasad because he knew what was going to happen to it. So then I just offered it. There was all these small sweet things. So I just offered it like that. And the monkeys were so polite. May I? Yes. Okay, you may. So one of them took one and the other one said, I need two. So it took two. And that was it. That was it. 2 minutes later, they are back. I said, shameless ones, you just took prasad. Why are you back again? I thought. Then I looked out the door and there were these dada monkeys. They were just going and paying obeisance. So all the prasad they were taking from me, they were giving it to them. The ones that were difficult, that found it hard to come inside. There's all this thing. And then when we went to, we brought some things from downstairs, and then the man's, so we said we are four people or five, I think. And he says, you have to pay for one extra bag of Naivedya. I said, why? He said, you'll see. One of them was an offering to the monkeys. As we are climbing, there are about 500 stairs to climb. As we are climbing, they all came and surrounded us. So one bag you hold like that, they all go towards that. After that, they don't bother you. Even the monkeys this was at the bottom of the hill. Even at the top of the hill, by that time, they have sent an SMS, don't bother these people. It's magical, actually. Really. So obviously, there is a synergy between me and the so-called world of objects, of other things. There is a great synergy. Communication is possible. And we see so many these kinds of human interest stories in the news, etc., where the cat saves the family from the fire. So many things we see. And the whole Prakriti, nature, is an extension of human nature, really. If my nature is Satchidananda, the extension, by extension, that also, this nature is also what I call nature, is also Satchidananda. When I look at the world as Satchidananda, there is the desire to milk it and destroy it just reduces completely and totally goes away. Then one is in sync with the way of the ancient ones who would not even walk during the rainy season for fear of stepping on the small things, the earthworms and the worms that come out in the rains. I don't want to even step on them. They are sacred. They are Brahman. I have a right to live. That also has a right to live. If some giant creature came and stepped on me, said I was useless, how would I feel? And why should I not extend that same courtesy to something else in the thing? That's how the ritual of Chaturmasya, even to this day followed by sannyasis, came into being. Chaturmasya means during it used to be 4 months, but then they reduced it to 2 months. Paksho vai masaha, they said, every 15 days, let us take it to be a month. So 2 months. So for those 2 months, the sannyasis stay in one place. They don't travel, they don't do that. In one place, they move around carefully. That ritual is still followed by the sannyasis who have taken a vow not to harm living beings. Ahimsa vow. We should all take it. Ahimsa vow. In fact, we had taken it one time before. Here and in Atlanta, everywhere we had taken it. People who are online may remember. This is very important. And so, Lakshmidhara Kavi, who is Lakshmidhara Kavi? No. so Lakshmidhara Kavi is doing us a favor. This is a reality check. I am, this I am Jada and Ajada Vibhaga is an arbitrary Vibhaga that is not just a pedagogical tool. It has been made into a Vedantic pedagogical tool because that distinction is already in me. I have inherited it from the family, from the culture, from the society. And that is made to disappear cognitively. And I can help myself in the everyday by studying the Bhagavad Gita, which expresses the same thing in verses 10 to 16 of the 3rd chapter. How must my relationship be with the world which confronts me? How must my relationship be? And it says it's one of synergy, it's one of mutual benefit. I nurture nature, and nature, I equip the nature to nurture me. If I refrain from polluting the rivers and the earth, then that will nurture me. It's a cosmic ecology that is described in those verses. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah param avapsyatha. Parasparam means mutually. Mutually propitiate one another, said the Lord, it seems, after making this world. The Vedas also say that. Propitiate one another. And how do I propitiate? By seeing it as Bhagavan, by Ishwarizing the whole nature. Then there is nothing. Can you say Bhagavan is Jada, insentient? No. If I say Bhagavan is Jada, I become Jada. I am also not separate from Bhagavan, that is the teaching. So then nothing is separate from Bhagavan. There is nothing called Jada. All that there is Chit, 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 Chetana, Chetana, Chetana. And if we lead our lives this way, not only are we poised to leave a better earth for the next generation, we also for ourselves, we understand this knowledge deeply and get rid of self-ignorance. And the third chapter in this portion of the Bhagavad Gita, it says one more thing. So how do I relate to the world as Chetana? It is by sharing and caring. You have to share. There is a have to there. Oh, but I don't have anything to share. There's always something to share. You have to share. You have to give. You have to help. Because really, in helping somebody else, you're not helping them, you're helping yourself. Because who was the one who said, I can't give? Me. When I give, what happens? It's not that their heart grows, my heart grows. And giving always is not money, time. You just sometimes all it needs is a smile, some food, whatever it is. Just keep giving. Be in the place of giving. The Bhagavad Gita says that is a ticket to seeing everything as sentient and to get rid of this sentient, insentient divide. That is the ticket. So, this giving and sharing is an important component for my self-growth and emotional maturity, because of which I can understand and assimilate this knowledge well. How does giving lead to self-growth? Think about this. What did I think previously? I'll die if I give. That was the belief. Oh my God, I can't give, or I can't give as much, or I don't want to. And even if I give, and is anybody giving to me? No. And so why should I give? This is the feeling. Why should I give? So the heart is tied up in knots. Then I somehow overcome all these feelings and then I give. Then the fear goes away. Oh, even without this, I'm okay. I thought I wouldn't be okay, but I'm okay. I told you that day. Lakshmi likes to be in circulation. You don't stifle her. You share her, and then she says, oh, this is a safe person. I'd like to befriend you and come back to you. And the Bhagavad Gita says, the one who cooks for themselves means the one who lives for themselves is a thief. Taking resources from the earth and just taking, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. Mogham partha sajivati. Their whole life is uselessness personified. is an embodiment of waste. And each time they walk, the Mother Earth goes, "Ow, you're so heavy. You're a burden on me." So, in that giving, there is growth. Yeah. The heart grows. The heart says, "Oh, I thought I had scarcity mentality, but that scarcity mentality is gone in the giving." Then what? Then after that, one more thing is there. Because when you give, you feel good about yourself. Think about somebody who's asking, who's begging. What is the demeanor of the person who is a wanting person or who thinks I am a wanting person and I want to ask this from somebody? Small, shrinking. The voice is in a whisper. I don't have, can you please give? Please. Look at the body language of the giver. Ah, here, take. There is a bigness. There's a bigness in giving. And that bigness is Brahman. That is you. You discover that bigness locally, and then you discover it cognitively. Vedanta in action. These are the topics people request, so I'm just giving that out. Please give some talks on Vedanta in everyday life. That's the first popular request. Second one is what? Please give talks on Vedanta in action. This is Vedanta in action. And the Upanishad tells us how to be a giver. Shriya deyam, bhiya deyam, kriya deyam, samvida deyam. Give with modesty. When you give, say, I wish I could have given more, but this is all I can manage right now. Give anonymously wherever possible. That leads to a quicker growth. And give because it is helping you, not the other person. Don't worry about the other person's help. That Bhagavan will take care of. Give because you want to grow. And this way, the bridge between the world of me and not me is gone. The division is gone, bridged by the bridge of giving. This is what to do. So then, ajade mayi kalpitaha. This is an arbitrary distinction that I have made. Like even the movie, which has moving and non-moving parts. Arbitrary. Then after that distinction is taken care of, the other distinction is talked about between witness and witnessed. This is the same thing. It's the same cup of tea. That's all it is. Some spices are different. That's all. The same tea. So, what is different here? The whole world is an object of my witnessing. It's the extension. How can I witness? Because I'm Chetana. That's the idea. And everything else is witnessed, Jada. Subject-object distinction here. That subject-object distinction is also natattviki. It's not ultimate. It's an interim distinction. And the distinction that's already there, we are making use of that distinction which is already there as a pedagogical tool. That's all it is. Same distinction. Similar distinction. Witnessed distinction is also comes to an end because all you have to do is think of sleep. I didn't say all you have to do is sleep. Okay, yeah. All you have to do is what? Think of sleep. And in sleep, what happens? What is happening in sleep? Where is the distinction between Sakshi and Sakshya? Is there a distinction? No. What happened to Sakshi? went to sleep. And so that means I'm not forever Sakshi. That's not my nature. Sakshi comes, Sakshi goes. Sakshi arises when there is something to be witnessed. Sakshi is there in the waking state and in the dream state, not in the sleep state. Witnessing is there when I am either a karta or a bhokta, because that witnessing precedes the kartritvam, bhoktritvam. In dream I am a bhokta. In the waking, I am both karta, bhokta, doer, and done in. Bhokta, experiencer, doer, and experiencer. Those statuses are there in the waking state, both of them. In the dream, I'm only an experiencer. I'm not really a doer. Even though I may do things in the dream, it's still an experience. In sleep, what? The doership is denied, negated in sleep, and the experiencerhood, experiencership is also negated in sleep. That means what? All my interactions, because of which there is doership and experiencership, are denied. And if there is no actions and if there is no doership and no experiencership, there is no witnessing of anything either. No witnessing is possible. Why? Because the witness is a status that is superimposed, as it were, upon the Atma that is free of either being the witness or the witnessed. Very important to understand this. And yes, I repeated it because it's very subtle. And so I wanted to do a summary of these two verses. And then now we are on the 21st verse. Yeah, so the 20th verse. Now let's chant 20th and 21st together. Chetyo rupami chakshita pinatatviki upalakshana medyam nistaranga chidam budhehe amritabdherna me jirnihi. Why is it that I'm only chanting? Okay, you can follow. I'll chant you follow. अमृताब्धेर्न मे जीर्णिः मृषाडिण्डीरजन्मभिः स्फटिकार्द्रे स्फटिकाद्रेर्न मे रागः स्वाप्नसन्ध्याभ्रविभ्रमैः So, Amrita together. Amritabdhe स्फटिकाद्रेर्न मे रागः स्वाप्नसन्ध्याभ्रविभ्रमैः. Unfortunately, Zoom is not conducive to call and response because there is a not jet lag, but may as well be jet lag. There's a time lag. and then there is some kind of a that kind of a sound comes. And so I wish it were possible, but maybe in the next new technology that they may be able to remove that. Yeah. So the 20th verse, this talked about the cessation of the sakshi, the witness, the status of the witness. And now the 21st verse is also going to express the same thing with two beautiful metaphors, because after all, he's a poet. And to be able, so that we are able to internalize and assimilate this teaching very, very well. And so two examples are given. I am the ocean of immortality. For me, who is Amritabdhihi, Abdhi, ocean. What kind of ocean? Amritasya abdhihi, amritabdhihi. Ocean of immortality. An ocean that never comes to an end, an ocean that never undergoes any change. Because that also we have to say. Immortality is not undergoing 5 stages and apakshiyate, immortal. No, no. Who wants that? So, immortal means ever fresh, ever youthful, ever young, never old, never subject to even one of those conditions. So, I am the ocean of immortality in me. Who is the ocean of immortality? An entire ecosystem exists. Just like in the ocean, what happens there is when you stand in front of the waves and the waves come and touch your feet and go, you see this very well. And the waves come in a frenzy. And when they come in a frenzy, there is froth and there is foam and there are bubbles. And what happens when it comes to the shore? All of them die away. Kshanika, momentary. Therefore, I am Amritabdhihi. I am this ocean of immortality. Name Jirnihi. Jirnihi is just what I described. The apakshaya is not there. It's not like I undergo 5 stages and the 6th stage called death in the 6-fold modification doesn't come to me. Big deal. And then so what? I'm on life support forever. Yeah. Immortal. Who wants that? Nobody. Swing low, sweet chariot. Yes, that's what I will say at that time. Is one song. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Yeah, that's what I will wish for. I don't want to be in this kind of a situation where where everything is there. Where there is, I can't feed myself, so the food is coming through a pipe and I cannot breathe. Breath is coming through a pipe. I cannot eliminate. That is also being taken care of by pipes. And so, what kind of a life is this? You know, I don't even want it to be a pipe dream. Okay. I don't want this at all. So, Amritabhihi, all right. I'm the ocean of immortality. Name Jirnihi. Disintegration is not for me. Jirna means threadbare, something, the teenagers wear these jeans, they are called jirna, threadbare jeans. So that is that threadbareness and the weakness and the everything. The sickness is for what? The body, the mind, the senses, not for me who has identified with this that is free of all 6 stages. Jirni is described because that is the 5th stage, and Amrita is of course the negation of the 6th stage. So if the last 2 stages are negated, then all the other 4 are also negated. No birth for me. Immortal is that which is free of birth and death. No birth for me, no growth for me, no changes for me, no disintegration for me. And finally, I am deathlessness. There is no death for me. Jirnihi, the condition of disintegration is for what? Is for the surface of the ocean. The bubble comes, bubble gone, froth comes, froth gone. This is my reality. Even when I'm frothing at the mouth with anger, I am still what? An ocean of oceanic consciousness, immortal, free of what? Any kind of disintegration. This is a beautiful metaphor. So Budbuddha is another word for bubble. Budbuddha, phena, froth or foam, and then dindira. Dindira is another word for bubble. Dindiram, neuter. Dindiram, phenam, phenaha, budbuddha. All these are things that form on the surface of the wave. Froth, foam, what else? Bubbles. They are momentary. They come, they go. First thing we have to know about the truth of this wave. The things that appear on the surface, number one, are momentary. If you try to point out the bubble to somebody else who is standing next to you on the ocean, it's gone. Bubble comes, by the time you say bubble comes, thousands of them have come and gone. What to speak of froth, foam, etc. So, number one, they are momentary. We have to understand that. The second thing in the example is that they do not affect the ocean. Can the presence of the bubble make the ocean have a bad day? No way. Not at all. And the ocean is touching various continents, various bodies of land, and everywhere there are bubbles. Yeah. On all sides there are bubbles and waves and foam and dindira, all these things are there. If each time a bubble was burst, the ocean started to become unhappy, then this would not have been an example. But the example is that the ocean abides in its own glory, in its oceanic majesty, regardless of the presence of things that come and go, like bubble, foam, waves, and what else? Froth, etc. Things that appear on the surface and go. Similarly, for me, who is this oceanic, immortal consciousness, froth appears. When? When I'm angry, at the corner of the mouth. Same as the ocean. That's why you can say the person is rabid, frothing at the mouth. Yeah. Bubbles of hope appear and disappear on the surface of this oceanic immortal consciousness, not subject to disintegration ever. Disappointment ensues when the bubble bursts. But that disappointment is what? One more bubble. That too will go. Some bubbles live a little longer. So the disappointment bubble hangs around a little bit. But that too goes. Gone. So in the same manner, for me, who is the fleeting oceanic consciousness, all bubbles, all things on this surface, they are all shallow, surface level changes that do not affect me. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadagya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om